Hello, friends. I have a question for MAGA. MAGA, when is Melania, when is Melania Trump, this so called First Lady, when is she going to testify in front of Congress about Jeffrey Epstein? Because according to the reports, and there's many news stories floating around, she is actually Jeffrey Epstein's woman, first, numero uno, before she met up with dumb Donald Trump. The story is dumb Donald Trump met Melania on the Jeffrey Epstein plane. And the story is they got married on the plane, not legally, but uh, you know, they met up on the plane, and 6 months, or actually, it takes 9 months to make a baby. So nine months later, Baron Trump was born. That is the news. That is the story that is floating in the media. Now, she knows who Jeffrey Epstein is because, first of all, she was Jeffrey Epstein's woman before she met stupid Donald Trump. So she knows Jeffrey Epstein very, 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 very well, if you know what I mean. So, how come this Republican controlled oversight committee isn't bringing her along and asking her these same questions that they ask Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton, who, she is actually my favorite first lady. I still remember her being the first lady in the 90s. She's my favorite one. Um, so she knows, according to her, she knows nothing about Jeffrey Epstein. She knows, she doesn't know about his parties or his plane or his island. But the MAGA controlled Republican Party, uh, they brought her in front of the cameras. Well, not really in front of the cameras, but in front of Congress, and asked her or demanded she answer these stupid questions. And questions that makes no sense. According to Hillary Clinton, questions that has nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. So Hillary Clinton says they ask her about Pizzagate. They ask her about UFOs. I I know I know Jeffrey Epstein was a bad guy, but I don't believe he had anything to do with UFOs. So I don't know. Maybe he's that sick to have sex with aliens. I don't know. Maybe that's why they ask her questions about UFOs, aliens. Maybe Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe even Donald Trump. They like having sex with, you know, aliens. So I don't know. But that is my question for MAGA. When is Melania going to be brought in front of Congress to answer questions about Jeffrey Epstein? Because, like I said, she knows everything about Jeffrey Epstein. The other question that I have for MAGA is, are you going to sign up uh, and join the army so you can be one of the first boots on the ground when America actually invades Iran? Because the only way to actually do regime change is you need American boots on the ground. You need to put Americans' boots on the ground in Iran, in Tehran, to take over the whole country so you guys could do your so called regime change. So, when are you going to sign up When are you going to sign up your kids, your sons and daughters? Sign them up. Let them go fight for the American dream in another country like Iran, protect the oil, and put a sycophant, as they say, a Trump sycophant leader in Iran so he could continue to lick the boots of stupid Donald Trump every day. So when are you going to do that? When are you going to sign up and join the U.S. Army so you can protect American sovereignty abroad? That is my question. Because, like I said, this is the only way to actually do regime change. Because, Iran is not going to fold. Iran is not going to, turn tail and run. Iran is a fighter. The Iranians are fighters, and they will fight until every single one of them. So, if you want actual regime change, you need to put your physical boot on the ground. Sign up your sons and daughters. Unless you are a draft, what is it? Unless you're a draft dodger like your so-called dear leader, stupid Donald Trump, then you're just gonna make some stupid excuse and not even sign up. But if you're a able-bodied human being, you should sign up. They always need, their bullets, the Iranian bullets need your body. It needs your body. So go there and sign up, and don't rely on black and brown people to fight your wars. You know, that is the question that I have for MAGA, because MAGAs are they're hypocrites. That's the word. They are hypocrites because they say one thing, but they don't even mean it. They talk about the Bible, they don't even read the Bible. They talk about the laws, they don't even follow the laws. They love justice, but they don't know what justice is, or they have their own version of justice. So they're basically hypocrites. So they talk about war, but they themselves will never sign up to fight for what they believe in. They will never fight for it. They want other people to fight for their wars, and they blame other people for their own problems. They don't want to take out. They don't want to take accountability for their own problems. That is who MAGA is, and we're beginning to see a lot of them, dropping out, quitting the MAGA team because they see how hypocritical this stupid movement is. A lot of them are quitting because of stupid Donald Trump, invading or attacking Iran, attacking Venezuela, attacking Greenland, attacking Canada. Some of these MAGA people, they got their brain back and they're like, you know what, MAGA is bullshit. So they're leaving the MAGA movement. But again, my question for MAGA is, when are you going to sign up to fight for America, your physical body? Pick a gun and go fight for America on the soil of Iran. Protect American sovereignty in Iran with your body. And if you come back dead, as Donald Trump says, this is the casualty of war. That's what he said about those 3 U.S. service members who have died because of his stupid war in Iran. These innocent guys, I don't know who they are, but these people they want to do their job, and they're not coming home. They're going to come home in body bags because of stupid Donald Trump. Thank you very much.